Oh my gosh, this is totally amazing to be here together. At the session where we honored Adam, he said being Jewish should feel good and it should be fun, and this feels good and it's fun. So thank you for being here. It is truly a gift to be able to serve the community in my new role as CEO, and I love it. When I was growing up, my parents and grandparents spent the evenings and weekends volunteering or at meetings for our local federation, JCC, and synagogue, and they always showed up. And they taught me how to do that too, just like all of you are doing today by being here. When we show up for the Federation or to celebrate our incredible community leaders like Laura Lauder and Adam Swig, we signal to our family and friends that it matters, that being Jewish matters to us, that we matter to each other, and that we are grateful for the community that we are in. I want to take a moment to thank Arthur for his tremendous leadership over these last several years. I have never met someone more dedicated or passionate about showing up for our Jewish community. He always shows up just when it matters most. During COVID, the war in Ukraine, to support Israel, and during Federation transition. So thank you, Arthur. I was hired to help the Federation reimagine the kind of institution we want to be in the 21st century, the kind of organization that our community deserves and is responsive to the issues of our time and built for a next generation to ensure we always have thriving, flourishing Jewish communities here in the Bay Area, Israel, and around the world. Like Arthur said, we are envisioning our federation as the center for Jewish philanthropy, the kind of place where together we can make a difference when we show up, the kind of place that matters because it makes the Bay Area and the world a better place. The Federation is already one of the largest community foundations in North America. Since I moved to San Francisco nearly 7 years ago, we have stewarded more than $1.2 billion in grants to thousands of Jewish and non-sectarian causes. You heard me right, that's more than $1 billion. We do this through our own annual fundraising, donor-advised giving, public and private foundations, and legacy giving through our own endowment. We're also tapping into the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship the Bay Area is known for. In fact, thanks to the pioneering vision of Laura Lauder, we are the first federation ever to launch an impact investing and impact lending program. When I first met Laura 7 years ago, I was living and working in New York, and she called me and convinced me to just spend a day in San Francisco. She's very convincing. Since then, she has been an incredible partner as the former chair of the endowment committee, pushing me and the Federation at every turn to not just, as Arthur said, meet the moment, but imagine what our future might look like together. Impact lending is just one example of what Laura brings to the Federation, but it's a big one. We now have over $30 million invested in life-changing loans to individuals and businesses in the Bay Area and Israel, opportunities for home ownership in underserved communities, and equity for Black and women-owned businesses. Laura is a role model, a mentor, a visionary, and a pioneer. She is also what I like to call a modern-day balabusta. One thing I like to do is reinterpret something traditional into more contemporary and modern. So you may know the Yiddish word balabusta, which is a quintessential homemaker. Well, my modern take on this describes it as a woman who is in charge, the quintessential leader, the consummate professional, and that is Laura. And speaking of fearless women at the center of our community, I am delighted today to let you know that Eileen Ruby from the East Bay will serve as our next board chair, succeeding Arthur on July 1. She's right over there. This is especially exciting because it highlights the smooth transition across the Bay since our merger with the East Bay Federation and will only strengthen our work together. I am also pleased to introduce you to the Federation's new executive management team, Chief Philanthropy Officer Rebecca Randall. I saw her sitting right over there. And our first Chief Operating Officer in over a decade, Tanya Shadoan. I don't know where she is. I think she's over there somewhere. We are blessed with these modern-day balabustas in our community who are total rock stars. And together with Arthur, the board, the endowment committee, and our entire professional team, we are in the midst of strategic planning as part of our regular, healthy organizational development. I'd like to ask our board members and our endowment committee members to kind of wave your hands so we can thank you and acknowledge you for your leadership. Our plans focus on putting our best foot forward as a community foundation, building out our role as influencers in philanthropy advisory, collaborative philanthropy, and with a Jewish impact portfolio. That means you can expect to see more opportunities for things like donor-advised giving, funding collaboratives, impact lending, and giving circles. Speaking of which, we have a new opportunity to join our Global Jewish Citizens Fund, which you can read about in some materials at your table, and I hope you'll join us. In addition to these new opportunities, the Federation still counts on your support through things like our annual campaign. Moving forward, we will focus on a more narrow, impactful portfolio of work like community safety and security, Israel and global Jewish peoplehood, and providing meaningful Jewish experiences to young adults and families. This means there'll be some things that we do less of and some things that we will do more of, and the time is right to do that work now. For example, maintaining the safety and security of our Jewish communities is more important than ever with a spike in anti-Semitism. The Federation is uniquely positioned to respond in our role across the community, already serving as a central address for security. And I'm thrilled to announce right here today that we have a $1 million plus matching grant. And it is for our community security program. And any gift you make to the Federation will be matched and help expand our security efforts in the Bay Area, including to our neighbors in San Jose, Sacramento, Santa Cruz, Mendocino, and Lake Tahoe, places where it's harder to do this work on your own. And we think we can do this better together. Last year alone, we trained 1,500 staff at Jewish schools and synagogues and organizations focused on readiness, physical site assessments, trainings, and active threat preparation. We also helped Jewish nonprofits secure more than $7 million in federal funding for security upgrades. So at this time of rising hate, political division, and uncertainty, we need to scale this work and do more. So we're doubling down on those efforts, and I hope you'll join us. There's a QR code up here, and in fact, you can donate or take it home with you later today to learn more about the program. It's on the back of your badge. So I'm going to end by just saying tzedakah, tzedek, kehillah, and tikkun olam. These are the values that inspire our work and my work every single day at the Federation. And this is the kind of work that makes it so exciting to be a part of Federation now. I am so grateful for our Day of Philanthropy co-chairs, David Agger and Howard Zach. And I want to thank our generous sponsors, some of which are listed here, including the Seligman Family Foundation, the Gary and Laura Lauder Family Venture Philanthropy Fund, Judy and Leonard Lauder, John and Marcia Goldman Foundation, and Prado. I also want to thank all the wonderful companies that continue to support Day of Philanthropy year after year. And we're also very appreciative of the individuals that have supported this event as VIPs and friends of Laura and Adam. You guys have a lot of friends. Finally, I'd like to recognize Consul General Marcos Urmanata, who is here with us today, and Senator Josh Becker. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. We are just getting started on the next 100 years of what Jewish life will look like here in the Bay Area, and we couldn't do it without you, so thank you for joining us. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is to enjoy your lunch, and that we'll be back to hear from Laura and celebrate her and hear from Katie Kirk. But before I do that, I got to tell you, there are 500 people. It's sold out crowd. And I think that we should take a selfie with Katie Couric. So I'm gonna take my liberty as CEO to remember this from the stage, because looking out at all of you is just totally fantastic. So everybody smile. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in a little bit.